Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Mary Nelson.
And I'm Mike DiGiacomo. We're going to start things out a little bit differently this morning. We're going to start it with a quote. If you want to do something outside the system, you have to function outside the system.
That is a quote from Rob Zombie. He's done it in music. He's doing it in film. Rob's giving fans a chance to be part of the movie 31 through a crowdfunding campaign, but you've only got 4 days to get involved here.
Here's the man right here, Rob Zombie. Welcome to Omaha, Rob.
Nice to have you here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Good to see you.
Morning.
I was in high school. I'm settling for a
Here
story.
we go.
I was in high school, and I went to an inner city, Omaha Central, inner city. So I had friends. We listened to rap. We listened to maybe Little Boy George. But then all my South Omaha buddies love Rob Zombie, so we were rocking out to Rob Zombie all the time.
Yeah.
Good stuff. You're here to talk about 31.
Yeah, I mean, 31, it's a crowdfunding thing I started, well, it's been about almost 60 days ago. It's almost over. But yeah, the whole thing was, I mean, every time I go to make a movie, this will be my 7th film, just the process always changes. I mean, the system changes. It's like with everything. It's music, movies, you know, through the digital age, the system is always different. So, you know, now it seems that studios really only want to back things mostly that they see as potential franchises. And the things that I do aren't potential franchise. Well, sometimes actually are. I mean, but they're not billion-dollar Harry Potter type, products. So that's when someone mentioned crowdfunding, which I didn't really know much about, and I, investigated and realized that Spike Lee and different people had done it, and it's just I thought it was kind of weird at first, the idea of like asking the crowd for funds seemed a bit odd, but then I realized, well, what I really did was, it's almost like set up an online store where if whatever you donate, you get something for it. So I don't want.
So give us some examples for those or the fans who are watching now. What do they get once they donate?
Well, I mean, it's mostly stuff people have mentioned to me over the years. Oh, there it is. Like, oh, how can I be in the movie? I want to be an extra, or how can I get a signed script or a director's chair or any kind of weird stuff like that. And it's all on there that you can, for whatever amount of money that you donate. I can't read that from here.
Yeah.
None
of us can.
It's not that good anymore. But, you get whatever it is,
But we're seeing a lot of these bigger projects like this, do this crowdfunding. I mean, do you think this is the direction of the industry?
The future.
I mean,
probably not.
No?
I think like everything else, it'll burn out. You know how everyone's like, Twitter's dead. I'm sure next year crowdfunding will be dead. It's the same thing. You just have to re-examine it every few months and go, well, this is what's happening now, and I'm sure next year this will be a dinosaur. But for now, trying to make it work.
Let's get to music, because that's why you're here, right?
Yes,
You've got a show
I don't
tonight.
usually roll into
just swinging
at this time
by.
of the morning for no other reason.
Yeah, so your show tonight,
Yes.
I know a lot of people, once they come to one of your shows, any chance they can get to another when they do. But for our viewers who are new to you and haven't seen you live, what should they expect tonight at the Mid-America Center, Rob?
I mean, our shows are just all, it's hard to, how do you describe it? You're insane. But it's just a full assault on the audience at all times. I mean, that's just what we do. I mean, that's what we do best, is play live. And yeah, no, it's fun, because I think a lot of people get used to bands that just sort of stand there and barely break a sweat, and we destroy ourselves and destroy the audience in the process, and they just leave there shocked. So
you're right. It's an experience, though. You're not just going to listen to music. This is an experience.
I mean, I grew up seeing bands where it was always an experience, whether it was like Kiss, Alice Cooper, whatever. And I was always like, I'd go to a show and be transported to another world, not just see a bunch of regular guys look like they're rehearsing, which is what I feel like sometimes when I go, our sound checks are more exciting than that concert I went to. So that's the goal, make it exciting.
Would you describe your relationship with your fans, whether it's through movies or music? It's a pretty close bond, I'd say. How do you describe it?
It's always like that with rock music, because you're always out there. I mean, sometimes like when I'm promoting the movies and I'm with the actors and there'll be a big crowd of people, let's say something like San Diego Comic-Con, they don't know what to make of it, but I go, this is like every day on tour, You're on tour, you're with the fans. They're in front, they're 6 feet in front of you constantly. They're at the bus, they're at the hotel. I mean, the relationship with the fans has always been pretty close, because they'll tell you if it sucks pretty quick.
Yeah.
They'll tell you what they want.
You get a pretty good indication.
But then
They're not afraid to speak their minds.
Once they're devoted, they're plugged in for years,
Well, that's the great thing about the two genres that I work in. I mean, hard rock and horror are fans that they're not casual. They're in it, like they'll be the person who's like, this is my first show. Some little kid or some guy that's like my age going, I've seen you 40 times since you started. So they're always lifers.
How'd you get into the movie side of it? Were you in movies before you did music? From what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to make movies first. That was the first thing I wanted to do. But as a kid growing up in Haverhill, Massachusetts, Hollywood just seemed like, what planet is that on? But you can always get your dopey friends together and buy some instruments and have a band, you know? And even though the thought of being successful didn't seem possible, but you know, putting together some crappy garage band always seemed doable. So yeah, the movie thing just came from when it became that time where we all made music videos. I just started directing them myself, and that sort of slowly transitioned into film.
It's great. So you were in Tulsa last night?
I was in
Is that right?
Tulsa last night. Yeah, well, actually, we
here
just
you are
drove
now.
in on the tour bus, and they woke me up and they're like, "You got to go on TV."
Right.
So if I seem
Rob,
a
wake
little
up.
groggy, that's why.
Right, he's busy. And so you'll be at the Mid-America Center tonight. Some tickets are still available, and if you would like to get yours, we'd invite you to visit Ticketmaster.com. We also showed you a website a little bit earlier. We could only show you part of it because, you know, morning network type TV, we got to be a little bit, we can't
Well, yeah,
scroll down
websites on
too
television
far.
aren't that exciting anyway.
Well, yeah. So anyway, this is the website, and so 4 days left, and then what after that? The crowdfunding campaign just ends.
Well, yeah, it just ends, and we go, well, okay, let's go make a movie. So we'll probably, I mean, right now we're in the pre-production stages, and we're looking to start shooting right after
You
Christmas.
feel good about it? You feel good about where you're at right now with it?
Yeah, everything's going great. I mean, you know, like I said, when it started, I was like, this is kind of strange, but no, it's been really successful, and just the fact to be talking about a movie that doesn't exist yet, I guess that's kind of good.
It is RZ, RobZombie-31.com. That's the site. And then how much longer until the movie's out, would you guess?
Well, I mean, I
this
think
point?
if everything stays according to plan, it'll probably be sometime around this time next year, maybe
Yeah.
a little closer
We'll
to
keep our
Halloween,
eyes
perhaps.
peeled.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
Thanks,
be here
Rob.
hawking that.
Rob,
We would love that. We would love
your
to have you
shows,
back.
you're so well spoken because you're looking at the show and you're up there rocking
great.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah,
go.
everyone's
Thanks,
enjoyed
yeah.
your company this morning.
A little
Glad
more
to have you
coffee,
here.
I'd be a little more well spoken. I'm sorry.
We can do that. We got you covered.
All right, next, Omaha's newest gala.